I booted from the ventoy USB stick and in a BookwormPup64. But today I'll show you how to install BookwormPup32.bit puppylinux in an old 17-year-old PC here. It does have 64-bit, but I'll show you how to install 32-bit. 6 gig of RAM also. Just to orient you further, I've removed all the distracting desktop icons, and also I got obviously simple screen recorder activated, and I have a internal hard drive here which we will go ahead and wipe out and get it BookwormPup32 installed with a save partition. And also I have a ventoy USB stick here, and just to make it clear, I'll just remove it so it'll be simpler to follow. And I put in an external hard drive here to record this, and also to have a BookwormPup32.iso available. The overall plan today is to go ahead and download the BookwormPup32.bit from here, and I've already downloaded, as you saw. And then next, what we'll do is we'll partition our hard drive with gparted, and then I'll go through that, and after that we'll install puppy files. This will be BookwormPup32.bit files, and then we'll create a menu list, a grub list, and then we'll go through how to use the parameter so it will boot from the correct partition, and also put the puppy save folder into the correct folder. And lastly, we will reboot using the internal hard drive. So the first thing, as we said, is to go ahead and use the gparted, and we'll go ahead and activate it, and we'll be installing it in an internal hard drive. And then because it's going to be on a legacy BIOS, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and have to wipe out the internal hard drive altogether. So we'll go ahead and swap off, because it's being used, so you can't wipe out the partition here. So we'll go ahead and first swap off. Now, if you don't have a swap partition, you don't have to bother with this. And then next, what we're gonna do is go to the create partition table, and then right now you can see there's 3 partitions here, 1, 2, and 3, and we've swapped partition doesn't show. And then we have to make sure that we're gonna erase the all the data and entire disk, and we're gonna use the new partition table type msdos, and that's okay. So we wiped it all out in this 128 gig SSD inside. So we'll go ahead and insert key to start creating the first partition. First partition is going to be puppy files, where we're going to put in the puppy files. And then because I have plenty of space, I'll give it roughly about 10 gig. So that's going to be enough for almost 10 different puppylinux files. But we'll only be installing BookwormPup32.bit today. So, and then we'll label it to pups, and then ALTA to add. And then next is what we'll do is we'll go ahead and add the save partition. This save partition is somewhat unique in puppylinux world because it uses the this partition to save the puppy save folders. So we'll go ahead and insert again, and we're going to have eventually you'll have more than one bookworm Pup32.bit here, but we'll go ahead and give it a roughly 30 gig, and then label it as a capital SAV. So this is important because we're gonna modify the menu list to make sure the save folder is saved within this partition. So we're going to go ahead and add ALTA again, and then we're going to have an extra partition here for data files such as music files and photos and whatever. It should have been internal SSD. So this is where we're going to put in the data files. So, and then we'll make this roughly 75. So, and then go ahead and add ALTA. And then lastly, we're going to create the Linux swap. Insert, and then file system is going to be a Linux swap, ALTA again. And then now we're going to go ahead and apply all the pending operations. Okay, so that's done. And then we're going to have to go here again, first partition, right click, manage flags, and then take the boot here. And now partition portion is all done. So now we're going to install puppy files. So what we're going to do is open up pups partition here. This is where we're going to put the puppy files, minus key, and then we're going to create a folder directory. In this case, we're going to say BookwormPup32, and then if you later on, if you want to put in other puppylinux, so for example, you may want to create a separate folder here like Fossa Pup. So here now we will have to put in the BookwormPup64 files, and I've downloaded here. So we're just going to minus sign again. We're going to open up the ISO, and then we want to mount this image, minus sign again to make it easier for me. And what you want to do is put in all the SFS files. So this is what we want to do, is put in SFS files. And then in addition, we want to grab vmlinux and int-HD and then ucode. So this is pretty much the same with any puppylinux ISO. So you want to grab all the SFS files, and then the other three, at least int-HD and vmlinux is necessary. And then what you want to do is just grab it all and then put it right there, and then we're going to copy into that folder. And then we can verify it just to go in the folder, and we have all the files. So we'll back out to the backspace key, and then now what we want to do is control spacebar in case to launch. And then what we want to do is grab for DOS bootloader configuration. This is legacy BIOS, so we only want to search in this hard drive for puppy files, and then we want a menu list. So that's what we want. Click those two and OK, and then it's going to put in the file, the appropriate files, the menu list here. And then we want to make it easier, rather than just have this long name on the grub menu. We'll say BW32, and then for now everything else is okay. It doesn't have Windows, but we're going to make that correction soon. And then now we're going to edit the menu list, because this is menu list that's been created here. Control H, here's the menu list, and we're going to edit it now. Here is a BookwormPup32, and first thing what we want to do is we want to just delete the advanced menu. I find I never use it, so, and then when I don't have Windows, so we'll just go ahead and delete all that. Then we only have BookwormPup32, and what we want to do here is put in a psave parameter, because this is very important to let the puppy know what a puppylinux save folder should be. So it's capital SAV. When we partitioned it, we named it with a capital SAV and then colon, and then we're going to create a folder within it to make sure that there's subfolder under save, and that's where we want it. So what we can do now is go ahead and go to the save folder here, which is SDA2, and then minus, and then we're going to create a directory, this time small letters, save, and then create. So that's been created. So the puppy save folder is going to be later on, after you make a first save, is going to be there. So that's all done, and then we saved it. And you may want to just, for sake of simplicity, you can just time out in 1 second is fine if you have just going to have one puppy, but you can just make it a little quicker with a timeout of 5 seconds. So this is all done, and let's just go back to the plan here. Now we created a menu list and we put in the parameter. Now all we have to do is reboot from the hard drive. When we reboot, we don't need to save anything at this point, because we logged into 64 ventoy just to get everything all set up. So you don't need to save anything. So I'll just continue on after we boot from the USB stick.